Good afternoon, dear class, ladies and gentlemen, those who are following on my YouTube channel. This is the continuation of where we had talked earlier about fossil fuel, and we had talked about how those fossil fuels are formed, where we had talked of coal and crude gas, and finally we talked about natural gas, crude oil and natural gas, where we said that under coal they are formed from plant remains, and crude oil and natural gas, we said they are formed from sea organisms when they have died. An example of planktons, when they have died and they have gone down at this bottom of the sea, they are sedimented. After sedimentation, they decompose, the decomposition, then formation of crude oil and so on. So for today, we are basically looking at how are those fossil fuels extracted. In simple terms, after they have been formed from plant and animal remain after a long period of time under those conditions talked about, the likes of temperature and pressure, how can you obtain those oils? So basically, look at the methods of how we can obtain those oils or those fossil fuels, and there are basically two methods of extracting them from underground. And the first method we look at mining, and the second method we shall look at drilling. So under mining, there we look at the extraction of solid fossil fuels, and that is coal, why I said that coal is solid at room temperature, which is extracted by digging under the ground. Then the second method is drilling, which is the process of cutting. Under drilling, the process in which a drill is used to cut or enlarge a circular hole in a solid material. And that one is used to get crude oil and natural gas. So the two methods of extracting fossil fuels, the mining method is used to obtain coal, then drilling is used to obtain crude oil and natural gas. It's because they are underground and far. That's why we prefer that method. So why are these fossil fuels used as a source of energy? They are used because of the ability to release a lot of energy. When they are burned, they produce a lot of energy. That's why they are always used and preferred compared to other sources of energy. And the second one is that these fossil fuels, they are a bit cheap compared to other fuels. Then the uses of fossil fuels, one is used to generate electricity. Another one, they are used to give oils, for example, diesel, petroleum products, among others. They are used for cooking in gas ovens. They are used for heating in homes and buildings. Very many uses of fossil fuels. And other uses we can look at the byproducts after extraction of the desired products. They can be used in various chemicals like plastics, in painting, in lubricating, making soaps and dyes, in medicine, in fertilizers, and so on. The byproducts after obtaining the fossil fuel, they can be used in those fields, like plastics, making paints, making lubricators, making roads, the likes of tarmac roads. You always see when they have put those oils, which are byproducts. You look at soaps, where they get the products of fossil fuels, the long chain alkynes, and we come up with soap in medicines, fertilizers and pesticides, and so on. So as I had said in the beginning, that we shall get to know why are fossil fuels described as non-renewable. So here we look at the formation of fossil fuels happen million years. And that process may not happen again in the near future. You find that it has happened after a long period of time. It does not easily happen. So in other words, fossil fuels are described as non-renewable natural resources because they cannot easily be replaced. The fossil fuels take long time to be formed or renewed. The rate at which they are consumed far exceeds the rate at which they are naturally replenished. So that's why we call them natural non-renewable resource or non-renewable fuel, that they are formed after a million years ago. So the time it takes for it to be formed, it is much more the time it takes to be consumed, and we shall refer to as the natural non-renewable resource. Otherwise, thank you for following. Thank you for liking my YouTube channel. Subscribe. Follow for more videos and more classes that will be following. Have a nice day and Happy New Year. Happy New Year and a new month.